Hey, I'm Martin Rand. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Pactum. We're here today on Nasdaq floor to do an interview on AI and AI governance.
Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks, where we meet with the top thought leaders and strategists in TradFi, digital assets, technology, and financial planning. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, and Martin, Pactum AI, give us some background.
We have built a bot that can autonomously negotiate supplier deals for the largest enterprises in the world. So they have 100,000 suppliers and they can't talk to everyone. So we talk to the massive amount of suppliers. We negotiate terms like price, payment terms, growth opportunities, and so on, and unlock hundreds of millions of dollars of value. And as you noticed, I didn't use AI once, so that's part of the topic.
I was just going to say, I'm sure you leverage AI a lot.
We are in a hype cycle right now, right. And the reaction to this hype cycle shouldn't be over-regulation to combat AI washing. And we're going to talk about that a bit more as well. So for instance, we used to call during the dot-com bubble all companies, dot-com companies. We don't do that anymore. The same is going to happen with as AI becomes normalized. So there's no reason to overreact as well.
Everybody's concerned about how they will be left behind if they don't jump on the AI bandwagon, but at the same time, converting it into something of business value that either accelerates the time to value or reduces the amount of burden that you have to go through in terms of the human effort. Those are the types of things that you need to apply AI to so that you can have some meaningful outcomes coming out of it.
You can't just apply the technology. It's what's the business problem that you're going to solve to achieve advantage. How and which ones are well suited for AI.
Right, so and Martin, that's essentially what you're doing with Pactum AI, is looking to create those efficiencies within the supply chain.
Yeah, and that's what you mentioned is a way to see through the AI haze, is to focus on the tangible value that companies providing. For instance, we have Waymo that is developing autonomous cars. And they're not saying, hey, we're an AI company. They're doing something in a superhuman way, and this should be asked every company. Like, we are having thousands of negotiations simultaneously in a superhuman way, and that's how AI should be used. We do something which people are not capable of, and that helps us to see through the AI kind of haze.
Yeah, it seems as if AI is almost organizing all this information in a way that human brains either don't or just can't process as quick. It's a more efficient way to organize all this information.
Yes, but there are also a lot of inherent dangers in that. So a large language model isn't actually a database. It's a neural network that performs like an artist. And actually, conceptually, it cannot be controlled. It cannot be guardrailed. And we see a lot of issues out there now with Air Canada being sued with something, what their AI bot said. Someone in California bought a car for $1 because they negotiated with an AI bot. So that's actually a worry. Companies that, and that's part of the AI washing also, companies that sell AI need to understand this technology to protect the customers.
Right, well, that was the whole thing. You have to measure that risk out versus being first to the market sometimes.
Yeah. And two other risks, in addition to the ones you talked about, I think are the intellectual property risks. Who owns that unique output put out by the generative AI? And also, do you have the permission to use the data you're using it to train with it?
Well, we already know that there was Google was fined in France for copyrights. So we know that. I mean, in terms of training, I mean, they can dispute that, but there are copyrights here. You have to ask permission to use this data.
Governance inside big organizations is extremely tricky because you have to imagine there are 100,000, or in case of some of our customers, even millions of people working in these organizations using these AI systems and enabling the use of the systems for third parties as well. So we see, number one, it begins from training.
Right.
So we've invested into the creation of Autonomous Negotiations Academy to teach every single employee how to protect the company against those dangers and how to focus on long-term value.
Appreciate everyone's insight. We could go all day on this one. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me from MarketSite. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.